All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yehoshai, Ba'ashem, Charakah, Kwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and a big shout outs to all the sincere elect out there. We are coming back at you with another lesson. Today we're going to talk about how the earth is under demonic rule, but not for much longer. This earth is under demonic rule, but not for much longer. That's why we continue, man. As the Benjamin them say, to chant down Babylon. Let's hit a precept. Job chapters 9 and 24 says, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges. Right, so we know who the wicked are. The wicked are the so-called white people today, otherwise known in the biblical term as the Edomites. And the whole earth has been given under their rule. That's why we have this demonic rule. The prince of the power that is in the air. Lord willing, we're going to bring out the precepts, the appropriate precepts to make the point. And Lord willing, it goes into the atmosphere, sends out the vibration to chant down Babylon. And that's the truth. You know, them Benjamite, old Benjamite raving as a wolf in them songs, talking about chant down Babylon. Well, here's the way to do it. Read those precepts. So we're going to read those precepts to chant down Babylon. Right. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right. The wicked, the Edomites today, the so-called white people. The whole earth has been given under their rule. Even though the whole earth was created for our sakes. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. The whole earth was created for our sakes. It's been given temporarily for a moment in time given to them to cause mayhem, confusion, and the benefits of that is that we're going to be able to there's a dog right here. We're going to be able to understand how to rule in righteousness, because we're going to understand better and take take the right course of action, because we know what it's like to be under this demonic rule where it's wicked, and the negative, understanding the difference between the negative and the positive. As High Priest Yaqub said, to know the difference between the negative and the positive, what's going to make us a better ruler, better judge, better kings going forward. So we understand the effects of ruling this kingdom, the effects that it causes. I can go into some of them. The list is too long. Dying, decaying earth, dying, decaying humans, GMO food, polluted water, the air, the trees be crying out because they're being cut down by the fellow. And when you go near trees, trees again. And when you go anywhere near trees, is not far behind, there's a fellow not too far behind. Either literally or in the spirit, which is the so-called white man, the fellow. They love to cut down the trees, which the trees represent life and oxygen and strength. And the trees represent man, which is man is a living being, because the trees represent life. And the fruits on the trees represents the philosophies of this kingdom in the symbolic meanings. The trees represent men or life. Men represent life, so the trees represent men or life. And the fruits on the trees represent their philosophies, the kingdom of this world, the wicked philosophies of this wicked world. So we're well aware of that. So we understand this earth is under demonic rule. Let's hit another precept to make some more of that point more obvious. That's why we pray Matthew chapter 6, and like I say, we've got to continue, Abaratazar, Lord willing, if you give us the strength to continue to chant down Babylon. And we don't got to be singing them, but we just got to be reading the scriptures. Bring them out. Matthew 6 and 9 says, after this manner, therefore, pray ye, O Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Right? Here's the point. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom come. Yeah, that when that kingdom come, it's going to bring relief to the elect. Right? And even the Goyim, other nations, the Goyim's nations, the heathen nations, and even well, temporarily anyway, while they're around for 1,000 years, the East, but they're going to be better off than well, they're going to be in shackles actually, but the heathen nations, they're going to be better off than now, because they're under the same vibration that we are under. The heathens, they're suffering the same effects of the air, and I ain't going to say the word, what the things that they be putting up in the air, because they put like, they do something on your channel if you make mention of certain things, you know. So things that they be putting up in the air, the heathen nations, they be bothered by that too. They be affected by that too. And even their own people, they're affected by that. They don't believe, they don't care about their own people. It's just collateral damage. Hence why they're putting all these things in the air. And it's deliberate, trying to get rid of the elect, right? The hidden ones, the chosen ones, trying to get rid of the chosen ones. Hence they'd be trying to block out the sun. And the more you get into it, the more you realize how much of a reprobate he is, how much of we call it in the Planet of the Apes movie, a harbinger of death that he is, and he doesn't care. So that's why we pray, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, and that's the will of the Most High. When that be done, going throughout the earth, we gonna be like I was saying yesterday, we gonna be singing. Let the saints be singing joy upon their beds. So we're focusing on, yes, this earth is under the demonic rule, but the end of it thereafter will be blessings and fruitful to the elect. And we're going to make the earth, we're going to repair the earth, we're going to replenish the earth, we're going to keep the Sabbaths, keep the laws, which the earth's right now, the earth is mourning. Isaiah 24, I may even hit that. After I finish this, I'm going to hit that Isaiah 24. So thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's the Lord's will going to take place in the earth as it is in heaven. So we're going to apply the laws to the land, the Sabbath laws, the hygiene laws, the high holy days. All those laws are going to benefit the earth. Right now it's in mourning. The hygiene laws, the high holy day laws, the ceremonial laws, all those we're going to apply, and it's going to benefit the people, right? Because even the heathens are going to have to keep those laws, and it's going to benefit the earth. Let's hit that one in Isaiah. Right, we just established that the earth has been given unto the hands of the wicked. Job 9 and 24. So we've established that. So now we're going to see the consequences of that. That's in Isaiah 24. The consequences of the earth being given unto the hands of the wicked. Let's read Isaiah 24 and 4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth. Right, that's how it is. That's why we feel like that. And if it wasn't of the Lord's mercies, Lamentations 3, we would all be done away with. If it wasn't for the Lord's mercies, there wouldn't even be left a remnant. Loosely paraphrasing, if it wasn't of the Lord's mercies, he would have wiped away even the remnant of it. He would have wiped away all of us. But it's of the Lord's mercies that there is a remnant going to be remained. Even throughout the Jacob's trouble, what we're talking about yesterday, with what's been breaking news, the breaking news with all the uprisings around the world, the recent one, there's bombings now taking place, more bombings, fresh bombings over in the east, and the literal skirmishes over there in Los Angeles. Trump, with a no tolerance approach to even his own people, his own civilians, supposed to be his own civilians, he doesn't give a monkeys about them. So the earth is mourning. Their own people are crying out, right, for justice. Talking about the Trump and the no tolerance and the draconian laws, and there's going to be a rise up. Yeah, we're rising up with the so-called black people, the ignorant of our people rising up, taking part in the protests. But you got their own people, the far rights, the gun militias, wanting the right to be able to keep the right to bear their arms. They're rising up too. Their own people are rising up. So the earth is mourning, and that's the earth, and that's just people on the earth. I mentioned the trees, the literal trees and the symbolic trees, the people and the literal trees are crying out. So the earth is mourning, it fadeth away, the world languisheth, it fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do language, and they're going to end up not just languishing, despite all their stock holding, stockpiling for survival. What's coming down the pipe, WW3, they're going to fade away. They are eventually going to fade away. They're going to take the MOTB. They're going to give in to the temptation, despite their approach, their fight. They're going to fight. Maybe they're going to fight to a certain point, but eventually they're going to be languishing. They're going to fade away. They're going to quit. They're going to give in, and they're going to take the MOTB if they haven't got that mark of exemption, the Dawaf. If they haven't got that mark of exemption, Ezekiel 9:4, 4:9. If they haven't got that Dawaf, the mark of salvation or exemption, they're going to give in. Right, the militias, the rebels of our own people, they're going to give in. They're going to take that MOTB, which is the mark of the beast. Let's hit some more precepts to make the point. So the earth is languishing. We've established, right, the earth has been given unto the hand of the wicked. The earth is languishing. It's sad, in other words. The people are sad. Hence the rising up, preparing for what's coming down the pipe. They well and truly know. The word's out. So, Ephesians chapters 2, and we're going to read one from the top. It says, and you have he quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in times past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air. This world, right, the prince of the power of the air. This world is ruled by the prince of the power of the air, which is Satan, right? Deceiver, or the devil, right? The prince of the power of the air, which you got the carnal devil, Satan, right? The scriptures talk about that, which goes into being a deceiver. And you got, which are the elite, right? The elite of these people, the shadow government. You got the visible government over there, you know over here. You got the left and the right. Lord willing, it come to me. In the Senate, the left and the right is gonna come to me. As a matter of fact, since I got a bit of brain fog, let's see. The politicians in America, left and the right, meaning the state describes Republicans and the Democrats. There you have it, the water. The Republicans and the Democrats, and over here you got the Labour Party and the Labour Party and the in England, all right. In England, the left and the right in politics. Conservative, you got the Labour Party and the Conservative. There you go. That's the beauty of the AI. Sometimes you get a mental block. So the left and the right. And so in the ancient, you had the patricians and the plebeians, which were the ancient politicians, or the two horns, which describes that in Revelation 13 and also in Daniel. The two horns, right? They are like they appear as a calf or a lamb on the surface, but they speak like a dragon, right? The Conservative Party, the politicians, the Conservative, and the Democrats. And the ancients were the plebeians and the patricians, the ancient party, or what they call it, senates. Today they call it in the Senate, in the politicians, in the politics. So these are you got all the different types of shadow governments, the skulls, that they be ruling with an iron fist behind the scenes with their draconian laws, the secret councils. That's it, the secret councils. Which one of the main ones is the skulls. Can't remember the exact the skull and bones. That's it. Which they're just to name a few. So we know, right? Going back to the precepts, Ephesians 2:2, wherein in times past we walked according to this course of this world, right? Getting all mixed up in and influenced by these maybe some brothers used to vote, and most of us probably knew better anyway. But that's they're playing for the same team anyway. Democrats and the Republicans, they're playing for the same team. Conservatives and the Conservatives and the Labour Party and the Democrats and the Republicans are playing for the same team. So we was under, maybe didn't know any wiser, and maybe some voted. Maybe some was influenced or convinced to vote for Labour. Vote Labour. You understand? But that's the spirit of the air. If you didn't know any better, the world according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit now worketh in the children of disobedience, getting caught up in all these rioting and uprisings, protests, and you hear them with their speaker phones saying we got to stand up and fight. So that's more evidence that we are ruled under the prince of the power of the air, ruled by demonic rule. Kala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem. There's so many more precepts I can get into on we touched on, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, we're ruled by demonic rule. Let me hit one more just to put a seal on it. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Signed, sealed, and delivered on the main point. Let's hit that one. The one I'm looking for, because we looked at the Lord's Prayer, and we're going to continue to keep praying, right? For his kingdom to reign on earth as it reigned in heaven. So we know that's coming soon. And Revelation backs that up. Revelation chapters 21 backs it up. That's one of my favorites. So Revelation, now we're going to hit Revelation 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy saints. Right? Because the saints right now, Revelation chapters, I'm quoting the scriptures just to hit the point, to make it a more condensed video. I can read it maybe in a future video. Revelation 6, that the saints right now are under the altar. They're crying out, when you're going to avenge our death? Right? That's what they do. That's what they be doing. Yeah. So we're fully convinced and fully aware that we're under this demonic rule. Yeah. So let's read. And the nations were angry, and their wrath has come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward, because that reward is coming, right, to the saints, the ones that are underneath the altar, crying out for justice. That reward is coming. Wait thee upon me, and I shall rise up to the prey. Zephaniah chapters 3 and 8. Wait thee upon me until I rise up to the prey. So even the dead are under the altar, crying out for justice, for the kingdom to be reign on earth as it is in heaven. Yahushai's return, right? And that's the grand finale. He has the keys. He has the keys to the abyss for the wicked. After 1,000 years, after 1,000 years, Obadiah 18, right? After they've served out their sentence, what do they call it in the court of law? Paid back their debt to society, their crimes against humanity, and that's the white people, the East today. They're going to have to go, they're going to have to be a bonfire for those people. When Yahushua returns, right, and then Abba Ratazar, he says, come up hither, Revelation chapters 12, or 11 and 12. Come up hither, and we get to be beamed up in the chariots, look down through the glass ceiling or glass floor, and see the end results, the burning up, the sea of fire that been brought down upon Babylon. Abba Ratazar, where those men coming back, we're going to be able to witness that. Hence, he's going to call up all the dead that are under the altar to give us all the new bodies and let us come back and cleanse the earth. Cleanse it from this unrighteous rule, right? Thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroyeth the earth. Right, man. So the earth right now is under that demonic rule. But soon, Revelation 11 and 18 again, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should have be judged, and that thou should have give reward unto thy servants, because the earth is under the demonic rule, and is crying out, is mourning. Isaiah 24. It's mourning. It languisheth. The people they be crying too. Even the wicked know crying out for justice. So the earth is languisheth. It be mourning. Yeah, but Yahweh Shai did done tell us, the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should have be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants. We're praying for that. I just read that in the Lord's Prayer, for the earth to come be replaced and have that rule back, where the laws be applied in the earth, to benefit the whole of the earth, the creatures, the critters, everything, the sea, the water, the sea creatures, the marine creatures, the trees, everything, right? That thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants and the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, right? That's why we keep that name in our mouth, praying, using it in the way how Yahweh Shai told us to use it, right? He saves, he delivers. He delivers. Yahweh Shai, he saves, he delivers. Right? Thy name, and the small and the great, and should have destroyed them which destroyeth the earth. That's the end results. That fellow, right? The fellow represents the ease, cutting down all these beautiful life, the life force, and squeezing out the life force of the earth. The earth is languishing so bad. So the Most High going to come back. He say he's going to have to do away with all of that. Going to have to do away with all of that, and ruin them that be ruining the earth. The Warrior Bashim Yoshai, Kala Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, bring back the earth from under that demonic rule. Until the next one, we out.